do like 3, 2, 1, and say, welcome back to our Sunday video.
Do I say the 3, 2, 1 or the?
No, no, that's just a count as
welcome back to our Sunday video. Their Sunday video.
Yeah. We are here with Dr. Mike. Finally, I'm so excited. We thought it would be cool to kind of go through all the Instagram fads and diets and just stuff that we see that like we know are whatever.
Probably
scams or whatever. So we figured he could kind of debunk them so we could tell you guys, are they good for you? Do they work? Are they bad for you? Are they really bad for you?
I really wish there was like a superhero for debunking medical facts because I would claim that. Like if Marvel, you want to add a superhero called like the Debunker, I'm game.
I love that.
Because like this is my thing, the new Avengers.
Dr. Debunker.
Yeah.
So you're good at automatically just knowing
what's
like
BS or not?
Yeah.
My BS detector is really good.
Oh, okay, this
really
is perfect
good.
then. This is perfect. We
And
weren't
you know, I started my YouTube channel to debunk a lot of the stuff I was hearing.
Really?
Because I trained in a very good hospital where we learn evidence, we learn what good research is, and then I come into the world of social media and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Where nothing is based on research,
Yeah.
everything's a marketing gimmick, so.
Yeah, I think that so many people, especially like young, impressionable people, they like
Yeah.
see it coming from like the Kardashians or whoever it may be, like their idols, and they're like, oh my
For
god, I have to
real.
try this, but
Yeah.
it's like, you don't really know what it does.
And they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I'm genuinely interested and sort of confused. How, without a medical background, right? None of you have trained classically medically.
No, just WebMD.
But how did you know that those things are not true? Or why are you skeptical of it?
Oh.
Because I'm not an idiot.
That's so mean though. So you're saying everyone that buys it is an
No, I'm
idiot?
only kidding. I just think they all just seem really fake. Like
Okay.
looking at something, I'm like, that doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't want to trust something called boom bod. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
What is boom
like-
bod?
Oh, we'll tell you.
That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like fun. I
Sounds
heard
like
Amber Rose
Chloe.
said something. I hope I'm not messing this up. I think she said something about detox teas for pregnant women. And I was like, oh my
What?
god, worst population to
That
give.
would be so
Yikes.
risky to
Yeah,
even
yeah.
try that.
I hope, please edit this out if this is not, if it's not Amber
We'll
Rose.
research.
I'm gonna get sued for defamation from your channel.
It's okay, we're gonna get sued for defamation for all these brands
Okay,
we're
cool.
about to talk about.
So the first thing I want to ask is, I stopped drinking coffee. Is coffee good for you?
Okay, so I'll answer to you the way I would answer to a patient.
Okay.
If someone came in and they said, I drink a cup or two a day of coffee, is it bad for me? I would say no. Evidence has shown that it's not bad for you.
Black coffee.
Black coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you put a ton of sugar into it and milk and
That's bad.
there's ice cream and caramel and all these things that people put
Yeah.
in, that's not coffee anymore.
Yeah.
That's a milkshake. If you're drinking a cup or two of coffee a day, there's no evidence that it's going to harm you. If you're otherwise healthy and have no other conditions, I always have to preface that as a doctor,
Yep.
by the way. Because
Yeah.
some people can have really bad, like, acid reflux.
Me.
To those people, I would say maybe coffee's not ideal. But in general, coffee's fine. But to say that it has a lot of health benefits, research is kind of out on that one. We don't know that one for sure.
Well, within my research, I've heard that matcha, like
Okay.
green tea
Yes.
matcha, is good for you.
I love green tea.
Oh,
So does she.
Me
too.
I have probably 30 varieties of green tea.
Wow.
In fact, it's top secret, but I guess we could tell your people now. I'm working on developing my own like tea thing
Oh my
with
god,
honey.
send it to me. Ooh.
Because when patients come in with a viral illness, a lot of times they want antibiotics. They don't need
yeah.
antibiotics
Yeah.
for a virus. So I tell them supportive measures we can do to control their symptoms. For example, salt water gargles, nasal saline
Love
sprays. And one of the biggest recommendations I give is green tea with Manuka honey, which
sounds
is,
really good.
it's a tea, which green tea is awesome. It has antioxidants, phytonutrients, all this other good stuff. Because of that, you have a drink that not only is healthy, warm, feels good, also the honey adds a cough preventive factor. So when we tested honey for a nighttime cough in children in good research, in comparison to over-the-counter cough suppressants, it performs as well.
Whoa, that's correct. Instead of going and buying the
Yeah,
medicine.
so like
that.
parents
Yeah.
come in and they're like, what can I do for my child's cough? I tell them honey. They're like, oh, you're one of those. No,
Yeah.
in children over the age of 2.
I love
Children
that.
under the age of 2 shouldn't have honey.
What about matcha? Do you know if there's
yes.
is there a difference?
Yeah, so the difference between matcha and traditional green tea is it has a higher amount of antioxidants in comparison to regular green tea.
Okay, is that good or bad?
It's good. What antioxidants are? You ever see rust form on something
Yeah.
where there's like water, right? So that's oxidation. That's oxidative stress. Because that metal is exposed to water, which has oxygen, the environment has oxygen, it creates rust. Rust makes things age, it makes things frail, fragile. So when your cells are experiencing that same form of oxidative stress that your metals in the world experience.
I'm just picturing that happening in my
No.
You
My
might
Please,
sounds
this is
exhausting.
probably the worst way to say it. so when that's happening inside your body, it's been theorized that eating fruits and vegetables, which are rich in antioxidants, they prevent or limit this oxidative stress to your body.
Oh, interesting.
So
you're not gonna rust.
Hopefully. I'm also drinking it from Starbucks, so.
but I will say this, the field of nutritional research is pretty poopy. It's not well controlled, it's not well designed, and a lot of what we know now, I promise will change in the next 10 to 20 years.
How do you feel about chiropractics?
I think
Oh, I love this.
I think when used responsibly, it can be a good adjunct therapy, which is like an add-on therapy.
Yeah.
If a patient has to choose between going for a complex back surgery, I always ask them to look down the most safe pathways first. So that means physical therapy. I'm an osteopathic physician, so I do manipulation as well. Mine is different than what a chiropractor does. It's more based on medicine and, again, as an add-on treatment. But I encourage patients, try acupuncture, try chiropractic medicine, as long as it's someone licensed, safe, this and that. So I'm a fan. Massage therapy, all of these integrative medicine techniques are great ways to prevent people going down the pitfalls of complex surgery, opioid addiction. So I'm a fan of it in that sense. Do I think it's the cure-all and it's the evidence behind it is great? Probably not. There were some YouTubers that came out and they were saying they were dying. I don't know, did you guys hear about this? And they made a couple of videos.
Were they like brothers?
Brothers or something.
Yeah.
They said like, oh, we're also giving away iPhones on this video that we're saying we're dying. The next video after that, they said a chiropractor saved their lives.
Give me a break.
And at that point,
the
statement I needed to make there was, if there's a doctor that's promising you miracles and saying, I'm the only one who can save you, don't trust that person.
Right.
No.
If I thought I was dying, I would not be trying to give away iPhones.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
it was irresponsible.
It's a little
buy this
shady.
iPhone, like, what?
Okay, so this is like a huge trend in LA right now. I don't know if it's like happening over here on the East Coast, but everyone is obsessed with celery juice. Have you heard of this?
I heard somewhere that people like celery juice. I mean, are they they eating it or drinking it in addition to their regular meals, or it's like a cleanse?
Fad. Like it's like
People are doing like
Cleanse?
celery cleanses.
Yeah. Kim Kardashian has psoriasis, and she had
It was a
medical medium.
A medical medium.
And he goes, you need to be drinking
Have you heard of
celery
that
juice.
It's like a doctor who can guess what you have without knowing anything.
Yeah,
right? That's what it sounds like.
Yes. He's like, okay, let me assess you, and he literally just takes his hands and he's like, okay, so I can sense that. Like that's what he did.
So he's an organ whisperer.
Yeah.
Essentially. Oh, it's your kidneys. You need
I'm
to drink
actually
celery
jealous
juice.
of that because I went to school for like 11 years, studied a lot, took tests, and they just can wave their hands. Oh, and medical mediums, like, you guys are scam artists.
He literally was like, oh yeah, it's your liver, you need to drink celery juice. And then she drank celery juice and nothing happened. Shocker.
It's a huge thing. Like a lot of people will wake up really early, go to Whole Foods, get their celery juice.
Is there anything wrong with drinking celery juice? No.
No.
It's fine. It's vegetable juice. Like,
Yeah,
go nuts. But like, if you're now taking out all the other foods that are healthy and have nutrients like proteins that you actually need, healthy fats that you actually need, you're going to be harming yourself.
Yeah,
So I don't recommend any kind of cleanses like that.
What about a juice cleanse?
No.
Okay. So this is a drink. It's a shot, actually.
Ooh.
Oh.
Boomba.
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah, the
Boomba
Boomba.
It
shot.
says that each shot there's a secret ingredient called, I cannot pronounce this.
Glucomannan? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that specific nutrient is.
These are like,
I'm going to go
what's
ahead
in
and
it?
guess that it has something to do with a fiber plus a prebiotic. I mean, I would like to look at their research, but here's my overall thing about it, right? The most important thing I can do to my patients who are overweight, meaning that their BMI is above 25 and they're not a huge muscular person, because that throws off the BMI. If they're obese, the number one thing I can do to help their life, quality of life and quantity of life, I go through these really complex behavioral steps to help them eat less calories, give them nutrition plans, get them to exercise. All these things are so hard to achieve. Why do I waste my time and energy when I could just give them that if it works?
And like you see the Kardashians promoting it, but you also see them, they have so much surgery done to their body, and they're also exercising like crazy. Like you see them at 5 a.m. at the gym.
They
like,
all have personal
doing these
trainers.
crazy trainer stuff.
Yeah, I think it's unfair when people try and pass off their success in weight loss to a specific product, because it's
money.
a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
And when it comes to these types of supplements, the FDA has no control really. Right now, we can create some powder with whatever nutrients we want, like literally right here on this couch, put it into capsules, and sell it online, and there's no rules against
Yeah.
it.
I
So,
don't think
like,
any of these have been FDA approved.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's just
they're
like-
not. FDA doesn't approve supplements.
Within that subculture, there's other like fit teas.
Yeah.
The teas are more of a like detoxifying tea blend that help you burn fat, increase your metabolism, and boost your immune system. This specific one that is like, I feel like the most prominently seen is a fit tea.
Yeah. And they've
Oh,
emailed me a bunch to try and
See,
get
no,
me.
we get emails from companies like that all the
Yeah.
time. And
I mean, it's like they're marketing interns. That
Yeah.
don't
Right.
I love green tea, but when people start overstating what it's capable of doing, I really don't like it. When they say that it improves flexibility, it helps you
Really?
lose weight, or whatever. Like there's maybe not fit tea specifically, but like there's a lot of these groupings of health teas
Oh,
that
yeah,
they
there's
make a
so
lot of
many.
claims and they sidestep the claims by using words like can and could and may
Yep.
support, or they'll have a little line on the bottom that says these results are not typical, like whatever marketing BS. But to the average person, when they see it, they hear it, they're like, I want to be skinny and this is a tea that's going to help me be skinny. Some of the teas I've seen have diuretics in them,
Okay.
which help you poop.
Which
But the problem
Not
is,
like a
if
good
you
way.
drink it too much, it can cause like excessive diarrhea,
Yeah.
and that can cause electrolyte abnormalities and all sorts of other
Just
problems.
sounds-
And especially, like the real problem is like, I doubt these teas are going to cause tremendous harm across the board.
Sure.
But the real issue is that they're distracting people who actually do need help. Because they think, why would I go to the doctor to lose weight when I
Yeah.
can do this? Why would I diet and eat healthy
Yeah.
when I could just do this? And the reality is you can't just do that. It doesn't work.
So I've always wondered about melatonin.
Okay.
Because I've heard, and sugar bear hair, I'm sure you've seen that. There's
Sure.
one that's like a sleep
yeah, they came
version
out with
of
a
it.
new one. Sugar Bear
Yeah.
Hair Sleep.
which contains melatonin.
I feel like I should have prefaced this in the beginning of the video, but like I hate the supplement industry and I hate supplements in general,
Okay.
unless there's a medical need. Melatonin is one of those supplements that actually has some good utility, but very specific utility. Like it's not meant to just help people fall asleep. The time that melatonin is really good is to reset your circadian rhythm. For example, in jet lag, when
Yep.
you travel to another country, now you have to sleep on a different schedule. Your body naturally secretes melatonin approximately an hour and a half before you start going to sleep. It starts secreting it once you're in a pattern. You can trick your body into doing this by taking melatonin when you're abroad on the other side of the world. You can reset your circadian rhythm that way. What companies now are doing is like, oh, we know that this is a sleep hormone, quote unquote, so we're just going to dose it in mega doses and hope that it helps you fall asleep. Is it as bad as the sleep medications that are out on the market that are prescription grade strength and are addictive? No, but it's also unfair to throw in a supplement and be like, oh, this is what the solution is to helping you
Yeah.
sleep. Because it's a false promise. The dosages that most people put in their supplements is way higher than what your body naturally releases or needs.
Yeah.
Same thing with biotin. Like they throw that in all like the nail,
sugar bear
fingernail.
hair.
Yeah, like
Biotin,
all of
I
them,
think.
they throw biotin in there, and they throw it at mega dosages, like 40x,
Yeah.
100x of what you normally need in a given day. Biotin, FDA just found something really dangerous about it. When people go to a hospital, like we're not sure if the patient's having a heart attack, we can do these blood tests which show if the heart is being damaged. Basically, when the heart gets damaged, it releases this enzyme. And we look for this enzyme in the blood to see if the heart is being damaged. That means there's a heart attack happening. Guess what? If you take biotin, it can mask the results of that test.
Thank God I don't take it.
So, like, think about how dangerous that could be.
That's
like,
crazy.
You're
I
a
didn't know
woman
that.
in your 40s and 50s, and you think your hair is thinning, and you want to take a supplement, so
Yeah.
you take boatloads of biotin. Now you're having some kind of chest pain. You think it's acid reflux. You're not sure. You go to the hospital. They run the test. It comes back negative. They're like, you're good. You go home and you die.
Oh, that's not what Erin wants to
Well, I don't take biotin.
I mean, it looks like a fine vitamin. The question is, how are they sourcing these? What is their quality check? How are they storing it? For example, gummy vitamins, right? They're popular right
Yeah.
now.
Sure.
What we're finding out is that the amounts in these gummy vitamins, this is testing done by a website called consumerlabs.com. You can find out that gummy vitamins, they'll say they have X number of vitamin A in it. But because of the way that you need to form the gummy, you need to heat it up real well, they actually have way incorrect amounts of vitamin A than what's listed on the label.
Oh, weird.
Sometimes way more, because the companies say, well, if it gets damaged because it's heated, we'll put more. But then it doesn't get totally damaged, so it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
And Consumer Labs and Consumer Reports have done a great job going to the pharmacies, picking them off the counter, and testing them. They find a huge percentage, like 70%, don't have the accurate amounts.
Yeah,
Or
no
don't even
idea.
have anything that's listed in the label,
Yeah.
because they were stored in a heated factory.
And people are just buying them and taking them.
So
spending
do
all
you
their
think
money.
it'd be better for people to take actual like capsules?
Well,
or-
what I recommend to people is visiting one of these websites, finding the most reliable brands.
Got it.
There's certifications called like USP. They at least do randomized testing to see where these labs, where these vitamins are stored, how they're transported. They go secretly to the pharmacies, buy them, test them.
Oh my God, it's like an
That's-
undercover.
Yeah.
It's like a mini
mystery
FDA.
shopper.
Yeah. Any like Instagram model, the Kardashians, they all promote Sugar Bear
Oh,
bear, and I'm like, I
Well,
feel
'cause
like
it's a
this is
marketing
no
thing.
different.
And I don't want to say anything bad about sugar
Oh,
bear
sure,
because I
yeah.
don't know. I haven't seen any testing done by consumer labs on them. I don't know what claims exactly they make outside of the fact that they're called sugar bear hair. The one thing I will say is I see their marketing and who it's targeting.
Yeah.
I could see that's a little unfair. That they're really targeting a market that is not educated on what their substances are, and that's what they prefer because they know they'll sell more. That
Yeah.
way.
What about people getting like the drips, the IV
Oh.
drips?
Oh,
And
I love that.
I would assume like the regular ones are probably pretty normal and are hydrating and everything, but they also have some in LA.
Like a
It's like,
beauty.
yeah, beauty.
Yeah.
It has like collagen and
Yeah.
whatever for your face or your skin, and they have like hangover ones. And
Yeah.
they have,
It's BS.
yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Like the IV itself or the extras?
Well, I'll tell it to you this way. Most of us are not vitamin deficient. The problem with IVs is they come with real risks. You're creating an opening inside the body. You can get inflammation of the vein known as phlebitis. You can get a blood clot in there, thrombophlebitis.
Holy.
Some of these places for hangovers, like you mentioned, they throw in prescription medications in there, like anti-nausea prescription medications. They don't tell you. And as a result, people just take it like, oh, I feel better. But then Zofran, for example, one of the adverse effects is it could change your heart rhythm. Like that's one of the adverse effects. So when a patient of mine's in the hospital and I know they have some sort of cardiac history, I'll always grab an EKG before prescribing Zofran. These people aren't doing that.
It
The
was like a
only
free one.
time you'll ever need an IV,
In the hospital.
well, yes, ideally, for let's say a hangover, is
Yeah.
if you are severely dehydrated and you can't take oral fluids by mouth.
Okay.
Otherwise, the difference is a couple of hours and much less risk because you're not open.
Interesting.
If you're sick from other sources like not hungover or whatnot, the only time you need an IV is if you're volume depleted, meaning that you're bleeding out and you don't have enough pressure in your system, so not enough blood is reaching your brain, so you have to artificially boost the volume by putting IV fluids in. But no one that's going to these places is in need of that.
Us, we're just normal, like, let's just get one.
So
Yeah.
this is strictly
It was
marketing.
like a
Oh, this is gonna be so great for
It's
you.
like-
These vitamins are gonna make you feel better and look like
Yeah.
nope.
It's expensive
Not
too.
proven.
It's interesting
Hangover.
because
doesn't
when
do
I did
anything.
it, I feel like nothing happened.
Me too.
Like I
Except had
wasn't
a
like
panic
I'm better
attack.
because they had like immunity ones where it's like if you feel like you're getting sick, they'll
Doesn't do
come and
anything.
What about like emergency packets?
Yeah, it's funny. You guys keep naming brands. I hope we don't get sued for this. To say that it's going to shorten the course of your illness, I don't think we have proof of that. Vitamin C, there is some evidence that if you have normal levels of vitamin C before you get sick, you will get over your illness
Oh,
faster.
okay.
But
That's
once you're already
before.
sick, taking it does nothing. All of this actually started with a Nobel Prize winning scientist who kind of went crazy with the whole vitamin C thing as an antioxidant and thought it would cure cancer, it would cure illnesses like
Wow.
viruses. And he kind of lost and went off the rails with this vitamin C thing. And as a result of that, everyone now thinks
is obsessed
they
with
need to take
vitamin
something.
C.
I like think about this. I'm a doctor. I get sick. I don't take anything. Why wouldn't I if it works?
Right.
Like I'm not doing it out of principle to hold out.
Yeah.
Like it's all marketing. And if you want to be healthy, you eat healthy. If you want vitamin C, you eat foods rich in vitamin C. Because not only do they have vitamin C, they have phytonutrients. They have nutrients that we're not even aware of. Maybe their vitamin C is different than the vitamin C we're putting in these pills. Like,
Right.
there's so much we don't know. And a lot of people will look at my videos and say, you think you know everything. No, I'm the exact opposite. I think we know nothing except the fact that there's no way eating vegetables and fruits is unhealthy.
Yeah.
So eat those same nutrients that you're getting in your pills, but you're getting fiber. You're
Yeah.
getting other nutrients along with it. And you don't have to take a pill. Don't oranges taste better than a pill? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In regards to eating fruits and vegetables, do you eat organically, or do
No,
you think
no.
there's a difference?
I mean, I'm sure there is a difference, but like from a health perspective, we haven't seen
Okay.
a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna stop
There's
saying
there's
that
definitely something to be said about like antibiotic overuse in like the animal industry and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Pesticides, there's also something to be said. But if you wash your
Yeah.
foods and stuff, and also I've heard that organic farming is really difficult to sustain for the entire world. Like once we get quality foods to the world, because a lot of the world right now is still food insecure. Yes, doctors have a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
You had like mental health questions for me, or should we save that for our video?
Like hypochondria.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I feel like we can talk about that. I'm working
So tell
on
me
it.
about it. Like, why?
Oh, I
why
have,
are
like-
you worried about doctors not knowing what's up?
I think it's less about doctors not knowing what's up, because I feel like once I go to the doctor and they're like, you're fine, then I feel okay. But then if I hear something that's like somehow sort of what I'm feeling, I feel like I internalize that. I'm like, oh, that's me. I have that.
Yeah.
Do,
Like,
when you
"You're
go to the
fine."
doctors and all that, do you request tests?
No, because I don't know what to request.
Do you request medicine? If you're coughing, do you like, I want antibiotics?
No, I don't like taking medicine.
Alright, so she's not that bad. Why are you giving her a bad rep? You're making it seem like if I had chest pain, I would probably be like, okay, I should go get this.
But
checked
it's
out.
like all the time.
Well, she always thinks that I don't know. I don't think this is bad. Like I've been this way
Catastrophizing? Like,
before.
you think it was the
Yeah,
worst?
she'll be like, I think I am having a heart attack, and I'm like, I think you're fine. I think you'd be like,
But it's
freaking
just
out
like,
more.
because I'm like,
and-
why do I have this pain? Like,
Yeah.
it's always, it's like, oh, no one can tell
Well,
me.
do doctors ever tell you like what you should be on the lookout for? For example, like if I have a patient that's coming in consistently with the same chest pain, we keep ruling out a heart attack, and we understand now. Okay, look, the type of pain that you're having, if it doesn't come along with X, Y, Z, shortness of breath, profuse sweating, nausea, like if you could still walk, it's probably not related to your heart. You don't need to panic. You can give yourself some more time and see if it resolves on its own. You ever heard of a stress test? I don't know. Maybe you
Yes.
did you have that done?
No, I want
okay.
one.
See, you do want that.
Yes.
I want
You're
a
not being
stress
honest.
test.
Oh my
It's
God.
so weird because it's always like I feel like I'm like, okay, I'm past it, and then like I'll get a new pain, and I'm like, what is it?
But it sounds like you're making progress.
I don't know. I think I'm dying. Oh my God! Look
You're
at my
break-
skin.
yeah, she
This is
breaks
what
out.
happens. I
When
go
you
to
get
the
nervous?
doctor.
Well-
Yeah, but usually at the doctor. Like talking
Is it
to
because of me?
No, it's because I'm talking about what I think is wrong with me. I'm like, okay, I'm telling him I'm dying.
It's
Well,
so crazy.
So there's actually disorders that there's a whole group of them. They're called somatoform disorders, where in your mind you can believe that you're having symptoms so true that you could create them.
I know,
Yeah.
and that's what scares
That,
me too.
that exists. So this goes into. Have you heard of cognitive behavioral therapy? We'll touch on this
Yes.
briefly, very briefly.
I'm like, I took psychology, but I don't remember.
Okay, so cognitive behavioral therapy is a very rational, reasonable approach that you basically take your thoughts and you see if they're rational or not. Because oftentimes, in fact, most of the time, our thoughts guide our feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So some people say, well, I'm depressed, so I think negatively. No, you think negatively, therefore you become depressed. It
Yeah.
works in that direction and unilaterally. So if you're feeling depressed and someone's like, oh, just don't feel depressed. No, you can't do that. But if someone is depressed and you ask them why, like for example, if you tell me, oh, I worry that I'm going to think this and it's going to happen, I wouldn't tell you don't do that. I would just ask you what makes you worried. Like what is the thought that's causing you to go there? And you may say, well, my mom was sick. I'm making this up.
Yeah.
Just so you don't have to
Like,
share
how'd you
anything.
know? No, I'm kidding.
Well, like my family member was sick with cancer, and now I think I have cancer. We'll say, okay, is that a rational thought? Like, is it likely that at 20 years old that you're going to have a cancer? No, that's not likely. So what's the rational thought? Well, I have a family history of cancer, and I've been to doctors, and I've been okay, so I'm probably okay now.
It's crazy.
Now all of a sudden you'll be sad, but it won't take you to the depths of anxiety and all these things. That's what cognitive
Interesting.
behavioral therapy is. When you worry about cancer or like worry about dying, what is it that you're actually worrying about? And verbalizing it sometimes, you'll be like, I'm worried that I'll die at the age of 20 and I'll miss my whole life. And then when you say it, you're like, that sounds nuts.
Yeah.
And then you'll realize, like, what's the rational thought? All of a sudden, you're like, okay, that doesn't have power over me
Yeah.
anymore. And
I
it's,
feel like
it
for us,
doesn't
we're
happen
like, they
instantly.
do.
That
Yeah,
happens
yeah,
over the
yeah.
course of
Sure.
sessions and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. So that's why I think the whole world needs CBT,
Yeah.
including myself. I do it on myself all the time. There's a good book called Feeling Good.
Okay.
It's by a psychiatrist, and it's like the Bible for depression and anxiety, but it's applicable to just all humans, not just depression and
Ooh,
anxiety.
I'll
And
have
it
to-
has like exercises in it that you can do.
Good.
It's the best book, easy read.
What is it called? Feeling good?
Yeah.
Good.
It's basically about CBT. It just tells you
I
how you
love
can do
that.
self-CBT.
You gotta go buy it after this.
Yeah. If you think about like rates of having these serious illnesses as young people, it's tiny. But then you think about a rate of getting into a serious car accident, pretty
Oh,
significant.
great.
But you
That's
guys
my
never
fear.
think about it.
I know.
Well,
it's
Like
so,
being in the street in New York
Yeah.
I know.
is dangerous, but you guys are like fine. Like you're like, we'll come to film with you in New York.
It's
Yeah.
so crazy because I have really, really bad flight anxiety. Like, I hate flying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think about it, I'm like, why do I not get scared to drive in a car when, like, the rate of dying in a car is, like, 10 times
Because
think
of your
because-
thoughts.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so... and
Irrational
I'm like,
thoughts.
shut up.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, I rationalize it. It's because planes are way scarier.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks, Dr. Mike, for helping
Answering
Of
your
course.
questions.
figure
Of course,
everything
of
out.
course.
We're also gonna do a video on his channel. It should be out same day we post this.
Yes.
It'll be... It'll already be posted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we'll link that in the description.
Be safe, you guys. Make good choices with stuff you decide to use.
Yeah. Research things that people promote.
Talk to your primary care doctor.
Yeah, that's probably a good option too. Is talk to your actual doctor about it before you buy
I'm
that.
like, do you want to be my doctor now? I just
To
do
fly
like
to New York.
FaceTimes. I fly to New York.
Like, I got this CAT scan app. I think it might work.
That's like my dream.
That's
I want an
coming soon.
MRI machine like in my basement.
That's actually going to do you more harm because it's
I
going to
know.
fuel your anxiety. Good
Well,
times! Stay happy and healthy.
Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Tuesday. Bye.